Good morning, everyone. I just thought I would show you a little voucher holder card today. So it's just a little card that opens up and then you can stick your little voucher card, gift card in the little pocket. So it's just one piece here. This is your card part here. If that's not enough room to write your little message to the person, then you can always write on the back. So I'd put, a white piece here, and then you can write on the back as well. But often people just write small messages, so that would be enough. So this is the blue version. I've used the writer's block collage pad, which I thought was appropriate for this. I've had a lot of people asking me for mail cards and bits and pieces. So I thought I'd do something mail, something that coming up with Christmas would probably be quite helpful for Christmas, so that you could then just make this your just do a Christmas theme. Okay, I'm just going to put that camera a little bit closer so you can see. Pull that down a bit, sorry. So this is the writer's block collage pad. So I'll just flick through the patterns for you. So again, there's 4 pieces of each paper. So they're quite cool for mail cards. As you can see, they're one-sided. Crossword, I think they're cool. So I've done the blue version, and now I'm going to do, then you've got your lovely sentiments at the back as well. So I'm going to do a red version now, using the collage papers as well. So I'm going to use the book papers and then this I'd call it a collaged papers, because they've got that, bits and pieces of everything. So some of the stamps you'll recognise as being in the writer's block. So you could create these papers yourself as well if you've got the stamped images. But if you don't have the stamped images, then there's the joy of just having the paper there already made up for you. Okay, and I'm going to distress around all these pieces. I'm also going to show you, I'll see, because I'm doing a slightly different version, and I'm going to see if the cogs actually suit. But what I also wanted to show you is a little bit with the new Glaze Embossing. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's really quite shiny, and it is a lovely glaze. So with embossing, I'll show you here. This is the gold embossing powder on the texture paste. So it does have a shine, but when you compare it to the embossing glaze on the texture paste, you can see how glassy and really tile-like, especially using this particular stencil. It's very tile-like. So I just wanted to show you how the embossing, so you can see there together, I can get the right light on it, that it is lots shinier than the embossing powder. So the embossing glazes are out of stock at the moment with Kaszazz, but hopefully we're going to get some stock in very soon. But as it's a new product for us, I thought I'd show you one of the ways that you can use it. So first of all, I'm just going to distress all these little pieces of paper. So just running the distressing tool along all edges. And I'll, once the video's up later on this afternoon, I will add the measurements for the card. So you'll have them there waiting for you. So that'll be on my Lucy's Kaszazz at That Obey page on Facebook, of course. So I hope you've all been keeping well and enjoying the new freedoms that have come. So it's been very nice to be able to run classes from home again with the people that are double vaccinated. It's been lovely. Now, mentioning that, I've got, if you're interested in mixed media and you live locally on the Central Coast, I've got a mixed media class on Monday. So if you are interested in that, then please contact me. I've also got a Christmas card buffet coming up next Sunday, the 14th of November. And there's still a few places left at that. Now again, if there's anything that you would like me to demonstrate or a product that you'd like me to demonstrate, please do let me know in the comments and I'll endeavour to help you out. Always looking for things to demonstrate. But I know people love different coloured, different folded cards. So I thought I'd just sort of focus on those. But with Christmas coming up, I thought I might just show you a few different gift cards. This being one of them. So again, you distress, or you might not distress. You distress how hard you like it. So I'm just going to do a little tear here as well and just roll it. And maybe just a tear, just a little one at the bottom here. Again, just to make it look a little bit more distressed. And then we might put a little tear up here. Now this one is going to be a little blank insert, so it's just the back of that paper. You could just use ordinary white, you know, your photocopy paper to do a little insert with, but I thought, oh, as this card's here, this paper's here available, I'm just going to use that. Okay, so I've got all the pieces ready. Now we're just going to blend around them. So I'm just going to add a little bit of red. The red isn't coming up much on this, but you can see just where I've distressed it, it's picking up on the white. So that's fine. Happy with that. So they're done. I'm just going to stamp the happy birthday on there. So you can stamp whatever message you like. then I'm just going to add a little bit of the motif from these papers here. So we've got this microscope stamp here with this same image here. So I'm just going to ink up this part, and then I'm just going to press, I'm just going to do a little bit of portion stamping. Just to get a little bit onto this paper here. So I'm just going to press down little bits on pieces. Okay, just to give it a little bit, so that it's not completely white. You've got that little bit of interest on there that then ties in with the papers that you're using. Okay. So we've got our 14.8 by 10.5 piece here. So this is basically a half piece of your normal A5 card. So that's just cut in half. And then this one is 12.3 by 16. So this is going to be our little fold over. Now, remembering with your textured card, always fold texture to texture first to break those fibres, so you've got that nice smooth fold, and then fold it back on itself. So that's your little card piece. So I'm just going to put our 4 pieces of tape onto the pattern paper. Now, there's all sorts of ways of decorating this card. You know, it's up to you. I'm just giving you a template, and then you're going to do whatever you want with that template. Use it in whatever way suits you. I'm just going to put that piece on there. So this is really easy. And it's another great way of using up your scrap bits of paper, your scrap bits of card. I set myself a task when we went into lockdown that I would try and use up all my scrap pieces. So all the demonstrations I've been doing have been mainly using scrap pieces that I had in my scrap bags. Then we do the inside. So the inside is the little pocket. So that is 4 centimetres by 12.3. So to create the little pocket, we're just going to put tape on 2 of the short edges and 1 of the long edges. And then we've got our little piece here. Oops, no, we forgot to put, silly Lucy. Where's our other book piece? There it is. Put this piece in first. Can you hear the birds out there? They're having a lovely tweet. Now just making sure they're up the right way. So just tuck that in there, leaving a little even border. And then the pocket's going to sit on top of that. Okay. Then we've got this little piece. So I think I said that's 11.8 by 5.3. No. How about we make it 3.5? Oh, and this was 4.5 by 11.8. But like I said, I'll have all the measurements there, but I know some of you like to know your measurements straight away. So, but I will have them there for you by the end of the day. And then we've got our little white piece, our little happy birthday piece. So all the products I'm using are from Kaszazz. Most of them you can get. Some of them are just out of stock at the moment, but will come back into stock. Hopefully, fingers crossed, very soon. So that's that piece. Then we can just attach that to the card. Just checking again that we've got, yes, that's all right. And then just making sure it should fit in there. Just making sure again. So I couldn't find a gift card, so the opal card is is what I've used. Okay. So now to decorate the front of it. So I thought I'd do something slightly different. I do love a good inspirational quote. And of course I've forgotten my little white bits of paper. I will be back in just a second. So I don't know about storage, but I find I often use, especially with this little stamp. So this is our little journal quote stamp. So I put all my pieces. So when I'm cutting down cardstock, look, most of the time I don't save these little pieces of paper, but for certain things they come in really handy. So I store them like this with just a piece of paper wrapped around with a piece of sticky tape, and I've got all different sizes. So when I go to stamp a sentiment, I've got the size of card that I want, and then I just cut down each of the ends. So that's just one way that I do it. So I'm just going to find a couple of little pieces because this might be too long, but I'm going to cut this down anyway, so I'm happy if it doesn't completely fit. So I'm just going to line it up. So I've got most of it on. And then I'm just going to make sure I get the end bit. Oh, look at this. This one's going to do the whole thing for me. Excellent. So I'm just going to use this one. Oh, don't tell me I forgot my scissors as well. Yes, I have. I'm so sorry, girls. I shall return. Sorry about that. I thought I was organised today, but obviously I'm still my unorganised self. So I'm just going to cut this down into every positive thought. Propels you, and then in the right direction. going to edge these in red. Actually, I might even just do them in red because they're going to show up a bit more. I'm going to matte these with a bit of red. Again, I'm going to use the some offcuts. Okay, so I've got that. I'm just going to put some, actually I'm just going to go around that a bit more. Just give her an extra little frame. And then tape on the back. And then onto our little bits of scrap red. And using a little handy trimmer. Guillotine, should I say. So the guillotine is just great for cutting down these little pieces. Just perfect. And last one. So they're ready to go. Just trim up this last little one. So I'm going to, so every positive thought propels you in the right direction. So we could just put it off kilter like that. I'm going to mount it because I think I want to add these little cogs. Set this cog because I've only got the half piece because I'd cut it in half to create this piece here. So I think I'm just going to add that to that there. Okay. This one, I don't know. Well, that might look all right. And then I can just pop that in the centre. I think that would be okay. So I'm going to leave those there so I remember where I put them. Now to pop the glazing powder on, I need a piece of scrap paper. So just pressing them into the clear embossing ink pad. And then we're just going to pour this is Vintage Photo embossing glaze. So I might just do all of them and have them ready so then I can do all three same time. So again, just pressing it into the ink pad, making sure it's got a good coverage, trying not to get embossing powder onto your ink pad. Okay, the mounting tape away. Okay, now because these are teeny tiny, I'm just going to pick them up with the tweezers and then just pick them up. Can you see it? Oh, you can't. No. My cord on my heat tool isn't long enough. So you can see there, you see there. There you go. That's sort of showing that lovely glaze. So that's one done. See if we can get this cord a bit longer. I'll pick up this one. So it just heats up like your embossing powder. Just melts away and just move on as it melts. Now I've noticed you can overcook it as well, so just being aware of that. So always moving on after you've heated up. So it's a little bit distressed looking, which I quite like. If you wanted it smoother, you could always re-dip it in the embossing ink and then apply more of the embossing glaze. Sorry, you can't see a thing. Okay, it's done. Okay. Just going to use a little bit of the glossy accent. Put that there. And I am gonna mount these. So just a couple of pieces of tape on each one. Only needs one. So every something. Then every pop. from there, that little one in the middle. Yep, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Making it straight. Then a little bit of glossy. Now you could, I've used glossy accent because I've forgot to grab the collage medium, and I'm going to use the glossy on, just hold it for 10 seconds or so and it'll stick. I'm going to use the glossy over the top of the little sentiments to make them glossy as well. So it turns it into like a little nameplate. You know those, the glazed nameplates that you can get, and so that you've got a nice glaze over the top. So just with the glossy accent, I'm going to make these stand out even more. So the matte helps them to pop, but then the glaze will help them to pop again. So I love using glossy accent for this technique. Now this looks a bit cloudy now, but as it dries, it will dry clear, and it'll just give another dimension to these little sentiments. So I'll just hold it up now so you can see it a little bit clearer. So you can't, the words are a little bit cloudy now because it's still drying, but once it dries, it'll probably take about an hour and a half to dry. You'll then get that really standing out. Okay. So that's the little card. So there's the two little cards, the two little gift voucher cards. I hope you like them. Please, I'd love your feedback, and like I've said before, if you've got any ideas that you want me to demonstrate or any things that you'd like me to demonstrate, please feel free to let me know. And if you'd like to order anything, please, again, let me know. Okay, see you. Have a great day. Have a wonderful weekend and keep on crafting. Bye.